Greetings, my faithful fans out there. Welcome to another episode of the Rowdy Retro Reviewer Show. Today, I'm here to share my thoughts on the 1986 motion picture musical comedy horror film, Little Shop of Horrors. Maybe I shouldn't sing all the songs because I don't want to get a copyright strike or anything. Now, some of you might have heard about this film before, since I did watch the film on DVD a few months ago, as well as owning a VHS copy of the film. Now, just in case you guys have no clue what this film is about, or at least never heard of it, the plot of the film is on the back of the DVD. Oh, sorry about that. Pretend that never happened. Business blooms at Mushnick's flower shop when an exotic potted plant called Andre 2 arrives and turns out to be a carnivorous mean green mother from outer space, filling that little shop with lots of horrors. So in a nutshell, Seymour KRELBORN finds an exotic plant at a flower shop downtown, which turns out to be a space alien from outer space. Little Shop of Horrors first flowered in a low-budget 1960 Roger Corman movie, resprouted as a smash 1980s off-Broadway musical, and now comes full circle in this 1986 movie musical adaptation of the stage hit with a score by multiple Academy Award winners Alan Menken and Howard Ashman. An all-star cast of comedy spreads tentacles of pleasures. So that's basically one way to describe this film. And I pretty much enjoyed this film a lot. Has a lot of great cast, awesome practical effects by Andre 2, and most of all, the characters are pretty recognizable. You got Rick Moranis as Seymour KRELBORN, Alan Green as Andre, Mr. Mushnick being played by Vincent Gardenia, and Orange Scravella DDS being played by Steve Martin. Now, Steve Martin and Rick Moranis have collabed together before, like Parenthood, for example, and can't think of any other film that I can think of that has Steve Martin and Rick Moranis in it. The film was produced by Frank Oz, who you might know him better as someone who worked on The Muppets and Sesame Street. He voiced Bert, Grover, Cookie Monster, Miss Piggy, and Fozzie Bear. I mean, I'm sure you guys probably already knew that. Anyway, he even lent his voice as Fungus from the first Monsters, Inc. movie, and I don't know if he reprised his role as the same character in Monsters at Work. I mean, you guys are probably gonna correct me in the comments below anyway. Now, a bit of history lessons for you. As the back of the DVD did say, it was actually based on a low-budget film from the 1960s called The Little Shop of Horrors. Then it was later be adapted as a live stage musical 22 years later, which is pretty unique. Funny enough, Alan Green, who played Andre in the live stage show, reprised her role as Andre in this film for a few years later. Yeah, 4 years later in this motion picture film by Warner Brothers Incorporated. Which I will admit, that is pretty neat how Alan Green went from... Sorry about that, I burped. I burped again. As I was saying, it's cool that Ellen Green went from playing Andre in a live stage show to playing her again in a motion picture film. And another fact, this film is the only time where Steve Martin and Bill Murray playing Arthur Dent, work together. Yes, this is the only film to have Bill Murray and Steve Martin collab together, which is something I never expected. I mean, it's weird how they never did any other film together other than Little Shop of Horrors. I mean, ironically enough, this is technically the second time Rick Moranis and Bill Murray work together as partners. Because believe it or not, they did work on the first Ghostbusters movie 2 years earlier. And then as Peter Venkman and Louis Tully, I think? I mean, I might be wrong. And they would even reprise their roles as the same characters in Ghostbusters 2 5 years later. So in a nutshell, Rick Moranis and Bill Murray worked on Ghostbusters, then Little Shop of Horrors, then Ghostbusters 2. I just want to make that clear in case anyone didn't know. I mean, sure, okay, maybe most of you probably knew that already if you grew up with this movie and both Ghostbusters movies. But this is for everyone who did not know that. Now, you might notice that on the VHS cover release of this film, I wrote down theatrical cut. And here's a funny story. There was actually 2 different endings to Little Shop of Horrors. 2! I mean it. The theatrical cut is the one I grew up with. Where Seymour saves Andre 1 for being eaten by, well, her plant counterpart and destroys the plant for good. Because Andre 2 has a diabolical plan to gobble up mankind and conquer the world with its offsprings. But in the director's cut ending of the film, it's completely different. Seymour's too late to save Andre, and she gets eaten. And when Seymour tries to go and confront Andre 2, the plant ends up winning, proving to Seymour that he's a lot stronger than Seymour, and gobbles him up alive. But it doesn't end there. Andre 2 allows himself to be sold all over the entire planet. And when the time is right, Andre 2 and his offspring strike. They destroy countless cities, eat up every single person they see. The plants continue to grow even more humongous, until they completely conquer the world, gobble up mankind, and rule the world. Now, test audience liked the film, but they actually hated the director's cut ending. Because I guess they didn't like seeing their favorite characters, Seymour and Andre 1, get eaten alive. So Frank Dawson and his crew had to go back and film an brand new and improved ending, which probably doubled its film budget a bit. Probably cost an extra $1 million or something. Or at least maybe like $500,000. Probably depends on how you look at it. Which is pretty dang crazy. And yes, you can find the director's cut ending of this film all over YouTube. Just type in Little Shop of Horrors, director's cut ending, and boom, there it is. Or if you happen to own the film on Blu-ray, the main menu does give you 2 options. Either watch the director's cut version or the theatrical cut version. Which I will admit that's pretty unique when you think about it. Now, I have found out about this by the Nostalgia Critic, who did in the Top 11's video called the Top 11 WTF Alternate Movie Endings. And this film was number 2 on the list. And Minty of Minty Comedic Arts did a top 10 facts video about this film, explaining all the interesting stuff that you never knew. Like the aforementioned 1960s film by Roger Corman, the 1982 Broadway version, and yes, even the director's cut and theatrical cut versions of the film. And I guess both Nostalgia Critic and Minty Comedic Arts did the research. And I'm not sure if James A. Janice of Dead Meat do a kill count of this film at some point. Well, maybe he will do a kill count on Little Shop of Horrors 1986 and probably count the kills in both the theatrical cut and director's cut ending on the film. Or at least do like a cut comparison of the film. Depending on how busy he is when you think about it. So yeah, that's actually my thoughts on Little Shop of Horrors. And funny enough, where I live, I actually saw this at a live stage show of this downtown where I live. I'm not gonna give away the name of my city, but my downtown city did like a community play of Little Shop of Horrors. Oh yeah, and to this day, I think there's still gonna be a few other live stage adaptations of Little Shop of Horrors all over the world, or at least all over the United States of America, depending on what's going on. But anyways, I should probably wrap this up right now because this video is getting way too long. And before I finish, I will let you know that it took a lot of technicians and puppeteers to make Andre 2 come to life. Because if it only took 2 or 3 people to operate Andre 2, it would have been difficult. But anyways, thank you guys for watching this video, and I hope you guys enjoy this. Rick Moranis, if you're watching this video, you still did a good job playing Seymour KRELBORN in this movie. So, have a nice day.